This is show business, right? And we know the biggest word in that is business.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 talk shows that bombed so hard they got canceled.
The room service is good.
Yeah, it's all great. Like, I don't get to go anywhere, so.
Never. And, we've been traveling the world for years and years. Yeah. We never see a thing. Nothing.
For this list, we'll be looking at daytime and late-night talk shows that were bumped early on in their run because of low ratings and negative reception. If you're in the area and would like to chat about failed talk shows, stop by the comments below. Number 10, The Jay Leno Show. After 17 years of hosting The Tonight Show, Jay Leno passed the reins to Conan O'Brien and began hosting a new talk show for NBC.
I couldn't be happier. You were the only choice. You were the perfect choice. You have been an absolute gentleman in private and in the press.
The Jay Leno Show premiered in 2009 to hit ratings. Unfortunately, critics felt that the show lacked creativity and was misplaced in its primetime slot. Viewership quickly plummeted, though O'Brien's show wasn't faring much better. Having gambled too much in separating Leno's and his original show's brands, NBC canceled The Jay Leno Show after one season.
Show business pays you a lot of money because eventually you're going to get screwed. And when you get screwed, you will have this pile of money off to the side. Are you ready? And they go, okay, you ready? You ready? I got screwed. Oh, you got the pile of money? Yeah, all right, fine.
Leno returned to The Tonight Show until Jimmy Fallon claimed hosting duties in 2014. His ratings never completely bounced back, but Leno's additional 4 years with Tonight were still much more successful than 5 months of his spin-off.
It's Valentine's Day, so I brought you a Grammys.
Oh, I love M&M's.
I put M&M's in them.
You knew those are my favorite candy.
Number 9, The Wanda Sykes Show. With the end of Mad TV in 2009, Fox needed a new hit to keep the late-night Saturday audience. The candid yet relatable comedian Wanda Sykes was poised to fill that void with her own bold weekly talk show, but she turned out to be a bit too edgy for audiences, creating an awkward atmosphere in her interviews and commentary.
Now we have a story. Now, I knew something was up.
It turns out that Sykes' real talk was not that well suited for a talk show. Viewers were polarized and soon dropped off.
Okay, here's the real story, folks.
After one season, Fox axed The Wanda Sykes Show and was left without an original late-night program for the first time in some 15 years. Though Sykes herself is as popular as ever, her short-lived talk show has faded into obscurity.
That's my version.
Number 8, Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon had his plate full as a TV personality by 2021.
Thank you for all the love. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I gotta talk.
The comedian's self-named, Harlem-filmed talk show was expected to be the ideal platform for his many talents. Unfortunately, it was one of several of Cannon's projects postponed by COVID-19, and controversy surrounding racist comments on his short-lived podcast. By the time Nick Cannon quietly premiered in syndication roughly a year later, it was one of the lowest-rated shows on broadcast.
You're my first guest, Kevin.
Well, I didn't agree to do this, Nick.
Yes, you did.
I have to do it.
No.
So let's get that perfectly clear.
Viewers also felt that the entertainer's show really wasn't that entertaining. It was canceled after only 6 months, before the first season finished airing.
Last night we saw the news that the Nick Cannon show is canceled.
What? No, I'm just joking.
Cannon had other projects to fall back on, but it appears that his appeal as a host is limited after all. Number 7, The Megan Mullally Show. Immediately after the end of the hit sitcom Will and Grace, NBC Universal developed a syndicated talk show for Karen Walker herself, Megan Mullally.
Oh, finally finished pasting those flowers to the wall with my hot glue gun right before the show, so glad that's out of the way. That was kind of a pain in the ass.
Though she had the chops for the comedy and skits, she was not as natural with the interviews.
You know, I think I love your fake family too.
I know, they're a good fake family, yeah.
Can you be my fake best friend?
Yes, I can be your fake best friend.
I have famous fake best friends.
Yeah, why not?
Mullally was considered likable, but the Megan Mullally Show frequently overstepped its gimmicks without much reward in the ratings. For all of the lively antics and Will and Grace nostalgia, audiences were taken aback by Mullally being a lot less outrageous than Karen.
No, he
After just 4 months, the Broadway entertainer once again bid farewell to her fixture on television. Mullally has remained a prolific character actor and comedian since, but her headlining act just couldn't hit its marks. Number 6. The Sharon Osbourne Show.
Please welcome your host. It's Sharon Osbourne.
With the unlikely success of an MTV show about the lighter side of heavy metal legend Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness's bride was expected to make her broadcast breakout with the Sharon Osbourne Show. Instead, this shot in the dark failed to hit audiences. Critics felt that Osbourne was too talkative through her interviews and promoted her dysfunctional family too much. What's so metal about daytime TV anyway?
Hey, excuse me, my kids were brought up on macaroni cheese because that's all mama can cook.
Above all, the Sharon Osbourne Show just couldn't weigh up to contemporary talk shows like Ellen. It was Osbourne herself who opted out of renewal when her obscure guest list began to suggest she hadn't the high-profile platform she was hoping for. After just 1 season, Mama had to come home.
Have a great weekend, and I will see you Monday when I will be joined by Kelly Brook, Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas, and my son Jack. Until then, I'll see you. Good night.
Number 5. McEnroe. While David Letterman was on sick leave in 2003, tennis legend John McEnroe, of all people, was selected as one of many substitute hosts for The Late Show.
Has anybody ever confronted you, ever questioned your assessment of their play?
Javier Sanchez, can I say yes?
Between this and his impressive record as a sports commentator, CNBC served the talk show McEnroe in 2004. Unfortunately, critics gave no love to the notoriously hot-headed Johnny Mac's surprisingly bland personality and interview style.
Do you feel that you're not credited enough for introducing me to Jean-Michel Basquiat, or is that where this is going?
You read right through me.
The guest list was strong, but initially promising viewership dramatically declined. Would you believe that the Wimbledon champion twice scored a 0-0 with Nielsen? Despite noble efforts to rebrand the host and keep the crew employed, by the end of the year, McEnroe walked off the court.
Guys, what was that? I mean, that was a sort of a half-hearted rendition of Happy Birthday. Can someone tell me what's going on?
Number 4. The Pat Sajak Show.
Thank you. That was a tremendous reception, and it fills me with the energy I need because I didn't sleep well last night. A lot of anxiety about the new show, and as if that weren't enough, I had a really weird dream. Would you like to hear about it by any chance?
Already famous for Wheel of Fortune by 1989, Pat Sajak reduced his duties on the game show to head his own talk show. CBS hoped that the charismatic host could weigh up against NBC's Johnny Carson, but it was only a matter of time before the Pat Sajak Show fell to the king of late night, and its own uniquely low-key host ran out of steam.
How about your family? Do they understand you? Are they happy with you? Are they proud when they see you out here looking like this? I mean that in the kindest sense.
After nearly 300 episodes of declining quality and viewership, the Pat Sajak Show was unceremoniously canceled. It does maintain a legacy for originating the set of many more talk shows and inspiring the successful format of one-time substitute host Rush Limbaugh. That might just say it all about Sajak's own bankrupt spin on late night.
Didn't we just talk about a movie which aired this Sunday on another network? And this is on another? And didn't we have David Keith on earlier this week, who's on a CBS movie which airs this Sunday? All right. Wonder what's on PBS this Sunday.
Number 3. Thicke of the Night. Few comedians had the hosting experience to compete with Johnny Carson in 1983. As a daytime staple in his native Canada, Alan Thicke was eager to grow his international brand with Thicke of the Night. Unfortunately, the talk show's seminal use of comedy didn't impress audiences at the time.
We're doing a headlining tour right now, and then we'll be out with the Scorpions doing the arenas.
Great. And if the tour goes real well, you'll be able to get your shirts sewn together.
The project's fatal flaw, of course, was that Thicke simply wasn't well known in the States. Retooling the format closer to the original Alan Thicke Show didn't exactly help. With declining ratings and a low-profile guest roster, the sun set on Thicke of the Night after 9 months. 1 year later, Thicke finally made it in America as the star of Growing Pains. But growing that international brand turned out to be more difficult than expected.
We have some spokespeople from the other side whose views you will hear after this commercial. I can hardly wait for them.
Number 2. The Magic Hour. In 1998, retired basketball legend Earvin "Magic" Johnson was a bigger public figure than ever as an entrepreneur and media personality.
Are you gonna stick with this gig, or are you going back to ball? What are you doing?
No, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna keep switching, going back and forth. I'm gonna stick with it.
If you get as many points in the ratings as you did on the court, you'll be fine.
By all accounts, the syndicated talk show The Magic Hour should have been another slam dunk investment, but audiences felt that Johnson fumbled the awkward writing and interviews, and that the production lacked coordination. Sidekick Craig Shoemaker even got fired for publicly criticizing the show. By the time the low ratings were briefly boosted by the appearance of Howard Stern, a harsh critic of the show, the producers knew the score.
Now, let's get right to it now.
Let's get right to it.
Why you been talking about me so much?
The Magic Hour was bucked after only 2 months, having since achieved popularity precisely for its failure. Johnson may still have a strong record off the court, but you can't win them all.
Now, I'm gonna get right to it. What happened with the Lakers of Utah?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Chevy Chase Show. In 1993, Fox produced its first talk show in 5 years with everyone's dream host.
Hi, Mrs. Griswold. How are you?
Fine, Sparky.
Sparky, that's right.
Sparky, yeah.
Yeah, Sparky.
Chevy Chase was one of the hottest comedians of his generation. Most anticipated that his talk show would be a hit, but no one expected a disaster.
Better like this, better like that, better like this, better like that, better like this.
Chase was visibly anxious and struggled for material, outshined by his unruly audience. With an uncontrollable production, uncomfortable guests, and plummeting ratings, the Chevy Chase Show ended after a mere 5 weeks. It has since become a cult cringe classic.
Okay. No, you gotta take those things with good humor. You always do. I admire that.
Sure, what do you mean I always do?
Chase himself credits the humiliating project as contributing to his downfall as a leading man. The Chevy Chase Show is now considered one of the worst talk shows ever produced, and perhaps the biggest bomb in late-night history.
I had a great time tonight. These are 2 wonderful guys. Marty Short is one of my best friends, and I'm sorry for not saying goodnight to him. He left in a real rush. I think it's a bowel problem or something, but...
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.